Jeff, how's practice today?
It's good. It's a beautiful day, and kids got good work in.
Jeff, do you feel like your guys' defense and the type of the scheme that you guys play is a little bit more comfortable going downhill and playing against some of these running teams, or how do you evaluate it?
I don't know if anybody ever feels comfortable going against a team that rushes for 475 the week before, and especially where they manhandled us last year. They ran for over 300 last year against us as well, so comfortable would not be a good way to describe any part of what we feel on defense right now.
And you guys have played against a lot of different spread teams the last couple of years as well. I just wasn't sure if, like, personnel-wise, you feel like your guys prefer one type of matchup over the other.
Yeah, we prefer when we're a whole lot better than our opponent, and we are not a whole lot better. This is a really good football team, and you're not the sixth leading Russian team in the country, and it's not like it's luck. I mean, Randy Clemens has been doing this forever. I mean, so he's got good players. He's a really good coach, and Coach Blesh and him have just done a fantastic job, and for a long time. It's not like this is just the first time these guys have showed up on the scene running the ball together. You can think back through the years watching Baylor play, just how many great games they've had rushing the ball. It's the same guy orchestrating it.
Jeff, how would you evaluate your health at this point of the week?
I'd give us an F for failure. It's just everybody's beat up.
Yeah.
It's not like we're any different. It's just we got hit in the same spot, and it is what it is. And nobody's gonna care. Bull don't care, right? Nobody's gonna feel sorry for the Roadrunners. I can promise you.
How much do you guys need that bye week coming up?
We do, but not as bad as we need to find a way to get out of this thing Saturday. We got to find a way, man. I don't know how, but we just got to find a way.
That sounds like a pretty alarming review. Are there any new situations that have popped up in practice or something like that? Or?
It's just football. It's just football.
Going back to the defense, how would you rate how well you guys have been just staying gap sound and avoiding any kind of breakdowns that way through the year?
We've gotten better each week. We've been exploited a couple of times. We hope we've got that cleaned up, and I'm sure those guys are watching the same video, and they're going to find out if we got it cleaned up or not. So we'll find out Saturday. That thing is kicked off.
You guys have a lot of experienced guys, especially at the linebacker position. How much does that help when you're trying to get that right?
It does. There's no doubt. Trevor and Jamal have been 3-year starters for me, or us. It's good. And the guys behind them have really started to come on. I'm really proud of that. Avery continues to get better. Martavius continues to get better. And we hope we'll get Drew Prox back from an injury at some point.
Jeff, do we take Frank Harris for granted? He kind of had a quiet 300-yard passing game this last week.
I never take Frank Harris for granted. He's in my prayer journal every day. Prayer for safety and prayer for thankful. For granted, never. But I will say, the entire Roadrunner Nation has gotten a little spoiled, and that's what winning and success does. When most of your messages you get as a head coach when you win 30-10 or questioning how sloppy we were, I think sometimes and it's a true assessment, but it does appear to be we are kind of used to winning a lot around here, and so, but no, I don't think anybody takes it for granted. I think we're spoiled, all of us, but when you're a head coach and you get to watch a great player like that, I don't take that for granted, as I understand how special those kind of guys are, and they've made my career. They've literally made my career. I've been a head coach for 18 years, and I've had a really good quarterback for 18 years. You don't get in these chairs without really good quarterbacks, and I can start naming them. One of them's right here in the town winning more games than we are, and G.J. Kinney, and you just don't get here without great quarterbacks, and he is a great quarterback.
You mentioned Monday, I think, talking football with a lot of the North Texas coaches through your career. Is anybody you've known for a particularly long time or have a close relationship with?
Probably Coach Bennett and Coach Clemens would be the most, just for them recruiting my school for so long. Phil's from East Texas, and his brother Jerry was in the same district as me. So Phil's always helped me in my career. He's a guy I've called on since I've been a college coach. Obviously, since he's come to North Texas, our conversations are not as much as they used to be. But Coach Clemens is an unbelievable coach and person, and he had my school. He recruited Gilmer, so he was always through there. And my brother and Kurt, Kurt coached the O-line as well, so him and Clem always talked, and I'd be in there listening. And great coaches, and a lot of respect for both of them, and a lot of respect for Coach Traylor. Known Seth for a long time. He's a man's man. He tells the truth, takes care of his kids. Had a lot of success there, and it's hard. It's hard nowadays. There's nobody happy anymore. What Coach Traylor's done there for 7 years is impressive.
You've mentioned kind of wanting to see, I think you said a minimum 35,000 in the Alamo Dome. What have you noticed about the buzz and the excitement this week? Any kind of difference or anything that you've jumped out at?
I'm the worst to ask that. I've told y'all before, the only fun I have the entire week is after the radio show. When you guys are hanging around, we're just shooting the bulls. That shows you how sad my life really is. I'm just not out. I mean, I get up at 4 in the morning. I'm in the office by 5. When I get home, I'm exhausted. You know, Carrie doesn't want to see me because I'm gripey. You know, Izzy's grateful to see me. That's about it. And I know I'm apologizing to everybody in the building right now. Academics, compliance, marketing, tickets. I even need to probably go see my AD. I'm just angry at the work. It's just that time of year, man. When you haven't had sleep and pressure and injuries, and you know, I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me because I love what I do. But it's just, you know, it is what it is. So I wouldn't know anything about a buzz. The only thing I got is a buzz. My head's hurting all the time from lack of sleep.
Jeff, the magnitude of this game, would you hope that there's an uptick in attendance this week?
You know, I hope. I just don't want to, you know, you got to be careful when you're me and I get in that lane, because we go out there and lay an egg Saturday. That's going to be a lot of people going, well, he asked me to come to the game, and the team looks like that. And we haven't done that ever since I've been here. Well, once against them. Last year we laid an egg. So I just got to be careful. I'm hired to coach the football team. My job is to put a good product on the field, and hopefully our product is good enough and the way we play. I really like our kids, right? And that's where I get a little passionate when you get me to answer the question incorrectly, because I'm trying to give you coach talk right now, is when I start thinking about my kids.
Right.
And then I quit being coach talk and you get Jeff talk, and that's when we get scary, because then I'll give y'all some quote that y'all are dying to trap me in anyway.
Does the way last year's game went kind of give y'all a little added motivation for this year?
You know, that's a great point, but I've been asked that a ton. I just don't think so. I believe if we were both 1 and 2, you might draw from that. But because we're both 3 and 0, we understand the significance of this game. I mean, I don't think it would matter.
Yeah.
If we were both just kind of struggling, yeah, you'd try to pull that rabbit out of your hat. But I don't think that rabbit's going to fly right now, just because it's huge for them too. You know, because they're undefeated as well.
You meeting with the students again today?
11:30, we're passing out some food and see if we can get that student section rocking.
Jeff, it seemed like there might have been 1 or 2 little issues with the field goal and PAT unit against FIU. Was there anything that had to get cleaned up, or is it just the product of the conditions there?
There was just one. Y'all listen to those commentators, so whatever they say, y'all think is the gospel. I finally watched the TV copy the first time all year. So my mom said I was cussing on TV, and as soon as the game's over, she just wearing me out, said I was cussing, and I need to be a better example for the children, and that I'm embarrassing the Traylor name and all. I didn't get like, she's like y'all. Nobody says thanks, great game. You know, I just want to know about all the bad. She's just like you guys are. So I'm like, I don't remember ever cussing one time the whole game. And I'm sure I did, but I don't remember. So I go back and watch the game just to prove my mom wrong. And there was a time where Maka kind of got blown up, and I was screaming at Maka, and when you know, the camera was right on me when I was screaming at Maka. So I'm hollering like Maka can hear me. You know, I'm just screaming, Maka, Maka! And I guess my mom thinks I was cussing that whole time. So I happened to hear the commentator say, we tried to draw them off sides, and they didn't jump. So it looked a little funny because they all moved over there, but they didn't jump. And then he said something like, Sackett was early. He wasn't early. Sackett always lays a little bit early. So you guys heard him, so y'all want to talk about that stuff. No, we had the bad snap. That's what we had. That was it. End of story.
Well, glad we cleaned that up. Good.
Those commentators, I love them, but be careful. Be careful.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks,
God
Jeff.
bless.